Now, what did I not like so much about Fall? I think where Fall falls short, no pun intended, is in the little things. Some of the acting is not that great in spots, some of the dialogue is pretty poor in others, and when it gets out of its central themes and ideas of these girls just being stuck at the top of this tower and providing a thrill experience, I think that's where it starts to slip and fall. It tries to introduce these plot points to get you to care a little bit more, but it really doesn't just stick very well. Sometimes is it a hit and does it contribute to the thrilling elements of the movie? Absolutely, but most of the time it doesn't quite land, or it doesn't quite feel well placed within the movie. Some of it will just feel a little random, a little jarring, and you'll wonder why it's there. And along those lines, this is very much an independent sort of film, and you can really feel it, not only because of some of the acting choppiness and some of the dialogue choppiness, but also even in some of the editing choices. As Becky and Hunter are starting to climb this tower, you'll see random things like the rope that's holding them together disappear at odd points, and just other small quirks that get a little bit distracting if you're paying attention. Does it ruin the movie for you? Absolutely not. Is it a distraction? Sure. In fact, saying that this feels like an independent film, although that is true, I think it's more apropos to say it just feels a little sloppy. Yeah, that's a much better way to describe what I've said. Also, I thought this movie's pacing was pretty off. I did appreciate this movie for getting going quickly, but the rest of the runtime feels like it drags. This movie's only an hour and 40 minutes. It starts to feel like closer to 2 hours 15 by the time the movie ends. As things start to escalate, things start to change. I actually found myself checking the time a couple of moments because I'm like, this movie, I swear, was only an hour and 40 minutes. We got to be at least 2 hours in. But no, sure enough, we were only an hour and 40 minutes in by the time it ended. And I think that some of those pacing issues stem from the fact that once this movie stops playing into its most thrilling aspects, it starts to branch out to these ambitious ideas, but those that don't land very well in the movie. And that's where this experience starts to get dragged down for me. I applaud the film for being ambitious in that way, but just because it's ambitious doesn't mean it always lands well or works within the context of the movie. And sometimes it can feel like the movie's trying to relay these messages about life, and you just don't really buy into it, or you just don't care quite as much as they want you to, I think. Ideas around living life to the fullest, the impacts of social media on our lives, those are all conversations we've had before, and the movie takes steps into those. However, I think the movie would have been better served by just not doing so. But I get it. Artists, directors, cast members, they have a message to tell. This is the way they tell their story, and they gotta do what they gotta do. However, it just doesn't always make for the best movie experience.